Alright, so let's just get down to brass tacks. You don't know who I am, I don't know who you are. This is just some random video on YouTube by someone who's barely made it past 50 subscribers. You just want to know whether this movie's any good or not. And at the end of the day, Rise of the Skywalker is fine. It's perfectly fine. It's flash with very little substance and is as safe a movie as there has ever been. It's wholly unambitious. It's just Return of the Jedi, just not as good. Sure, some of the practical effects look a little bit more polished than back then, but at the end of the day, it's just Disney Star Wars. It's more product than anything else. If you were someone who hated The Last Jedi and took great umbrage with the things that it did, I don't think you're going to like this movie, because I don't think this is the kind of return to form that you were hoping for. And for people that did like The Last Jedi, or rather The Rise of the Skywalker, The Last Force Awakens, or whatever the hell the last movie was called, you're probably not going to like it either, because it is doing nothing of the same caliber. Yes, Rian Johnson ultimately shit the bed with that movie. I liked it for the most part, but at the end of the day, I am not blind to the anger that people had for it. And if you were expecting some kind of grand statement about Star Wars, something that was going to do something brave and bold and new with it, you ain't getting it here. This is just Star Wars, the theme park ride. It's just like that one they've been advertising on the trailers and during the ad breaks, that one that's in Hollywood or wherever. It's about that scale. It's a movie whose story ultimately just feels like an extended fetch quest from a video game. This feels like DLC for that Star Wars The Last Jedi Rise of the Order game that came out a few weeks ago, starring the lad out of Gotham. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I did enjoy the movie. There's no getting away from it. I'd like to sit here and tell you it's the worst movie ever made, that it finally kills Star Wars in its bed once and for all, but it doesn't. It's a fine, fun movie for what it is. I am disappointed that it didn't do anything better than this, but at the end of the day, if you just wanted a safe, unambitious Star Wars movie that was just going to tick the boxes, that was going to get everybody thumbs up and enjoying it, this is it. This is it. It's just a product. There's nothing about it which is bold. There's nothing about it which is visionary. There's nothing about it that's really stand out to me. Most of it just feels like recycled stuff that we've seen in other Star Wars movies done again, but with brighter special effects and in a higher resolution. That's it. Our characters are about as developed as they've ever been, which is to say that they're barely developed at all. The action sequences are full of flair, full of flash, and are enjoyable for what they are, but at the end of the day, they're about of the same calibre as the fight sequences within the prequel trilogy. Lots of flash and substance, but not a lot of great dramatic threat within it. Any kind of moment within this movie that you think it's going to take a turn and do something different, or bold, or even take a risk, it actively doesn't do it, or it actively undoes it. At the end of the day, this movie is fine. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's just a generic, middle-of-the-road, bland, safe Star Wars movie. If you wanted a movie that was going to destroy the franchise and prove that Disney doesn't know what the hell they're doing with Star Wars, this isn't it. If you're wanting a Star Wars movie that's going to prove to all the naysayers that Disney knows exactly what it's doing with Star Wars, this isn't it. This is just product. At the end of the day, it's a thrill ride. It's like being on a 4D roller coaster at the theme park of your choice. That's all it really is. At the end of the day, yes, I can recommend it because it's not a terrible movie. It's not awful. It's not disastrous. I don't think it, in and of itself, it has enough within it which is to be more controversial than The Last Jedi. But at the end of the day, it's just product. Your little nephew or your little niece or your kids, whomever may like it, they may really want to buy the Lego toys at the end of the day. But if you're expecting something bold, something bright and interesting, this isn't it. I'm sorry to say that. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel, click the bell and do everything that YouTube wants you to do, because this is an age of product over substance. And YouTube is very scary these days, particularly as what will be coming through in the new year. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.